Hey everybody, welcome back. I've got a quick story for you and how that story relates to working in the health system every single day. And so what that problem is an altered mental state, and it's something that I don't hear anybody else even registering in their heads, and that no one's even having this conversation with patients or family members, and that is the fact that people get altered mental states. And basically what that means is people will come down, I get calls, I get orders every single day for an altered mental state. So the person's just not who they were, okay? And here's where the story starts. I had a patient, came down on his own, we'll just say 3 days ago, okay? At that time it was 3 days earlier. And so he was fine, he walked, he talked, and everything. And he was sick, he had a long history sheet, but he was doing okay, generally speaking. So we got him, comes and goes, okay, comes back. 3 days later, with his wife this time, and it was for an altered mental state. So every time that they get an altered mental state, we want to make sure that there's not a brain bleed. And there's a couple different ways that we can get a bleed on the brain. You could fall, hit your head, some sort of trauma, or it could be because your blood gets too thin or your blood vessels in your brain become too weak and you get a bleed and they break open, and that's just where the blood vessels get weak enough. And it can be caused by several different things. So we CAT scan them, and most times it's unnecessary. It's not unnecessary because it's needed, because we really do need to make sure that they don't have a brain bleed. But the one thing that I don't see anybody having a conversation about with that family member or the patient is that we're pumping them. These people, when they come down with altered mental states, they have pumps and drips of medicine going on. And guys, this is altering the blood chemistry. So when we're playing with synthetic drugs with known and unknown side effects, it's totally out of the equation for our medical system. And it's crazy to me to think that, it's not naive, in fact, to think that we could have all of these synthetics and things growing through our blood, and our blood's perfusing through every part and every cell in our body, and just maybe it's going to alter our mental state. And it's crazy. So this guy came down 3 days after with his wife, and she was talking about his cancer, and she said he's obviously not himself. You saw him yourself. You told me you saw him 3 days ago. So what's the deal? And I said, listen, I think that he's just got way too many drugs in his blood. I mean, look at how many things. She goes, yeah, I mean, like I can't even keep track of his prescription. She goes, when he started down this rabbit hole because of his cancer, I was really on top of it. I was writing everything down. How much was the dosage? All these types of pills. She goes, now we're going to go to the doctors and stuff. They're writing me new prescriptions. They're taking old ones away. There's side effects to this one. Then we go see the other doctor, and he says, no. That doctor, I don't want you taking those 3 pills out of the 7 he gave you. You're going to get rid of 2 of those 3, and you're going to replace those 2 with these 2. Then they go back to the one doctor, and it says, no, that. So, and you guys and your family members are in the middle of this awful debacle, and we've all witnessed it with family members. It's like, this doctor tells us this. No, well, their recommendation is this. Well, this pill does this to you. And it's freaking crazy. So going back to the altered mental state, it's not naive to think that all these drugs interacting with each other on top of the individualized chemistry of our body makeup could just be freaking an overload on our brain and overload in things. And I'm telling you, literally 99 out of 100 people that I scan for an altered mental state, they come back negative, or it's some pre-existing thing. If we do find something, it's something that was already there in the first place. Because a lot of people who are very, very sick and in the hospital, they do get daily or bi-daily, every 2 days, they get head CTs just as a wellness check, if you will. And it's crazy. It's crazy that this is what's going on. And this is what's going on in your family members and my family members and our neighbors and the people we care about and the people we love. This is what's going on in their body. And it's really sad to see. And so, albeit it is necessary in some states, as I pound on, and I'm going to keep pounding on, this is the second part of healthcare, and once you're in that second part of healthcare, it's really, really hard to get out. And that first part of healthcare is taking care of stuff within the house, and that's with proper exercise, proper nutrition, proper water. And it's not just like eating chicken and salads, okay? Because when you eat chicken, you could be buying the bag of chicken from the store that's all GMOs. It's filled with chemicals. The chicken isn't raised right. It doesn't have any nutrients. Like I said, I'm not getting into that, but there's so many caveats to all of this stuff, and we're all individuals. What's going to affect me and work for me might not affect you the same way. It might not work on you in the same ways. So it's just wild to think about, and it's really sad. And guys, a head CAT scan costs a lot of money. It's a lot of money for a radiation to your brain, And on top of that, it's a little bit of time, and it sucks that this is what's going on in our medical community, and this is what we've worked ourselves into. And so what I want to do is I want to teach you guys how to stay out of that second. Like I said, obviously I'm not against it. I'm part of it. And I love that I can do what I do for people. And I love helping people. And I love getting to know people. I love getting to know my patients and be able to help out every sense that I can. And but a lot of people just don't know that there's this intermediate step of really knowing how powerful nutrition, diet, exercise, fresh, clean air, proper sunlight instead of artificial light. When I'm in CAT scan, I don't see sunlight unless I go on break. And that affects everybody. It affects me, which affects other people. It's direct and indirect interactions, and it's crazy. So without getting into that, I just wanted to touch on the altered mental state and how it really, it's just wild to me that these things really happen to people without any consideration that it's medically induced. It's like, okay, wow, this patient's not who they were. Okay, they're showing signs of this or that, or they're combative all of a sudden. Yesterday they were fine. Now today they're in, which are a prescription. The doctor has prescribed them the leather restraints, and now they're in 4-point restraints. Their legs and their feet are tied up, and they're totally not acting themselves. And we have to make sure that there's not a bleed or something else, but we don't even consider the fact that we did it with all the different pills, all the different medications, and the family members who have to take care of these family members when they do get home from the hospital. They can't keep up with, the people who do try to take care of themselves even, they can't keep up with the pills and the times and the doses and the names, and they have this log, and some are better than others, but I mean, there's people who come in with bags, with chests, with backpacks full of medicines. Where do you think that they got all this from, guys? They got the process on how the medicine works from a plant, a fruit, a vegetable, an herb that grows out of the dirt. These things are already in nature, and they know how to work with our body rather than against our body. True, it's not 100% effective in all cases because, like I said, there's genetic makeup, there's all sorts of different things that can affect my body differently than it affects your body. So there's a lot of things to consider in healthcare, obviously. So anyways, I want to keep you guys safe. I want to keep you guys out of the hospital. Don't want to see you guys in the ER. I want to save you guys time. I want to save you guys radiation. I want to save you guys money. I want to save everybody healthcare costs, because when we're in healthcare, everyone is overworked. We have more patients, we have less staff, we have less resources, but yet we have the most advancement in the world. So how is this making sense where we have so much advancement and so much prestige around the newest technology and the newest machine and all this stuff, but yet people are getting sicker and sicker, and we're getting new diseases in ways that we don't know how to handle these things, and it's all related to side effects and side effects of that side effect. So we're going to get put a pill on top of that and an IV dose of this to counteract that. It's just crazy, and it's a big spaghetti. It's a big ball of spaghetti. It gets tangled up real quick, and there's no olive oil in that spaghetti to keep the noodles loose. All right, y'all. See you guys on the next one. Stay safe, and as always, protect yourselves. Protect yourselves. Good night.